Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Please get a seat. The plenary session number 2 is about to start. It is about Power 2X ongoing projects, a glance at the ongoing large-scale green hydrogen projects. And please a warm round of applause for the distinguished high-level experts on this panel that will be chaired by Dr. Samir Rashidi, Director General Research Institute for Solar Energy and New Energies. A round of applause for the panelists and for the chairman of this plenary.
Thank you so much, Dear Ihsan, dear Khadija, for your introduction. I'm really happy and humbled to be here with you and with also this distinguished lineup around me. I'm really honored. And today, as the subject of our panel is around the ongoing projects, the idea is also to see with you and with our panelists how are the large scale, small scale, middle scale is going. So I need to verify if everyone in my panel is here. So Mr. Tariq Haman has just arrived. Thank you so much. Mr. Jad Zhao is here from Huawei. Mr. Tariq Haman from Mazen. I would like to call Mr. Dries Benhima, who doesn't need any introduction, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the pillars of our industry and the energy ecosystem. And please join me in applauding Dries Benhima. It's an honor having you, sir. I would like also to introduce to my right, Mark Rondal from CWP. Thank you, Mark, for being here. And also Mr. Adonis from Chariot. Thank you for being here. And last but not the least, to my left, my friend Frank Lobaron, which is representing ENGIE, a big player in green hydrogen in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, just given also the fact that we got a bit longer in the previous sessions, I would like also to mention that we'll be a bit short on the program. So please keep your question probably for one-to-one discussions. And without further ado, I will kickstart the discussion on seeing the first round of question will consist on having somehow the status of the projects that are ongoing in green hydrogen by the companies represented here in this panel. So first question will go then to Tariq Haman from Mazen. I would like you, please, in 1 or 2 minutes, if possible, give us a brief on the endeavors that Mazen has started in the green hydrogen. Thank you so much, Tariq.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samir. It's my pleasure to be here with you today, sharing a little bit what we are doing in this field in Morocco. Of course, I will start also with my condolence to all people impacted by the earthquake we face. And also thanking you for being here with us. For me, it's the most show of your support to all of us. As you we'll start with what has been achieved in Morocco. I mean, we have a quite interesting targets of green energy penetration into the grid. Right now, more than 42% of our installed capacity are from renewables, wind, solar, hydro. And of course, as you know, our target is to reach at least 52. And in fact, if we do integrate the projects that are in development, more than 4 giga are under construction or final stage of development will be added to the grid within the next 4 years, will help us to achieve our goals and to start thinking even further than the 52. And for that, Mazen has been created in terms to support this massive introduction of renewables within the grid. and we success to develop large-scale project. I can mention, of course, the complex of what is that, but also all the wind development that has been. We are now having almost close to 2 giga of wind under operation in Morocco. Of course, this is a part of the path for the decarbonizing the grid. But of course, if we want to move with a more large green economy, we have to address the other sectors, transportation, industry, but also housing. And of course, green hydrogen is today identified as one of the potential vector in order to decarbonize these sectors. In that field, Mazen has started to develop a reference project. Our target is to show the case with a reference project, commercial scale project that we can put on the ground soon in order to demonstrate that we can have this kind of integrated green hydrogen project implemented in Morocco as soon as possible. So we started development by 2020. Right now, we almost finalize the feasibility studies. It's around 100 megawatt electrolyzers fed by wind and solar with the support of the German government by funding this project. And as I mentioned, the target is to develop and to implement such kind of project on an appropriate scale as soon as possible. We already chose the location. We are now starting to work on the structuration and will be soon go into the market and launch tenders to select the partners. I mean, for this project, it's for us a pilot project, but on an industrial scale in order to enhance the development for more large capacity to be developed in the country and especially in the region where we are developing this project. So very soon we'll be asking the developers to, of course, participate on this approach. So briefly, this is where we are on this project, and we'll be happy to answer to more questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tarek. Thank you very much. I will move on now to Jad, from General Manager Morocco from Huawei. And of course, Huawei is not a project developer for green hydrogen, but you are also a technology provider. So I would like to ask you, Jad, what are the elements of the value chain where Huawei could support the deployment of projects in green hydrogen?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Samir, for the introduction. And first of all, I'm very glad today to have this worldwide event with all of you, and then trying to share all of our green hydrogen experience with all of you. And so, as Mr. Samir has mentioned, yes, we are not a developer for the moment. However, that we are keen into the whole industry chain, and then we have cooperated with a lot of developers and EPCs all over the world, and to see that how Huawei can promote our technologies and solutions to make the green hydrogen more efficient, to make it more valuable. This is what we did before, and also this is what we're going to do in the coming days. So, like what you have mentioned, we all know that what is previously introduced on the green hydrogen industry chain, there is production, there is storage and transportation and all of that. And actually we have a lot of global projects ongoing already, like the P2X projects in Spain, and also that there are some green hydrogen delivery even from Australia to Netherlands and all such things. Globally speaking, that's 65% to 70% of the cost of the whole projects comes from the generation of the green hydrogen, and then 10% related to the storage, and around another 10 to 20% related to the distributions and to the transportation, such things. So as one of the biggest costs in this sector. And Huawei started to supply the most efficient renewable energy, especially about the photovoltaic PV solutions, and to help the green hydrogen industry to make it more efficient, to make it with a lower cost, and to make it more intelligent. This is how we position ourselves for the moment in the whole supply chain.
Perfect. So more efficiency and less costs, and also automated. I will get back to that, Jad, for about digitalization efforts in Huawei, which is also a big challenge. Laissez-moi maintenant passer à notre cher Monsieur Driss Benhima. Cher monsieur, je rougis pour rappeler votre parcours et ce que vous avez fait pour ce pays. Donc, je vais éviter de faire ça. Donc, si vous pouvez nous donner à nous tous aujourd'hui votre point de vue par rapport à ce nouveau élément qui vient sur la chaîne de valeur de l'énergie, sur le volet industriel.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Merci pour vos aimables paroles. Je vais profiter de ma longue ancienneté, j'ose pas dire expérience, pour rappeler que le dernier accident mortel dû à l'hydrogène dans notre pays date des années 70. En fait, c'est l'injection d'hydrogène dans un circuit, dans une usine de production d'huile, dans un circuit qui n'avait pas été inerté à l'azote. Une bêtise, disons, très simple, qui a conduit à l'explosion de tout le circuit et un décès. La bonne nouvelle, si on peut dire, c'est que la législation marocaine sur le contrôle de l'utilisation de l'hydrogène et toute la régulation sur la sécurité est à la fois moderne, sophistiquée et relativement simple. Probablement que l'arrivée maintenant de quantités qui n'ont plus rien à voir avec ce que nous connaissons dans notre pays va demander à la repasser en revue. Mais en tout cas, nous avons une législation qui est travaillable. Voilà. Ma deuxième remarque, c'est que notre pays a aujourd'hui les capacités stratégiques et il l'a démontré. Il l'a démontré il y a déjà pas mal de temps sur le projet de Tanger-Med, qui n'est pas simplement un projet d'infrastructure, donc un projet industriel, mais un véritable projet d'aménagement du territoire. Et le projet hydrogène, l'offre Maroc Hydrogène, est un projet, je pense pour moi, qui va être autant, sinon plus, un projet d'aménagement du territoire qu'un simple projet industriel. Le rôle de l'État ne va pas consister simplement à valider les projets pour l'affectation du foncier. Tout le monde connaît les rumeurs qui attribuent à Mazen un rôle futur de guichet unique auquel tous nous aspirons. Il est clair que les responsabilités de celui qui devra gérer l'émergence des projets nature hydrogène dans notre pays est très complexe. Très complexe. D'abord, comme je l'ai dit, une chose très essentielle, l'allocation du foncier aux projets les plus porteurs d'emplois et de valeur pour notre pays. Les énergies renouvelables ne fabriquent pas d'emplois. Tout le monde le sait. L'électrolyse ne va pas en fabriquer beaucoup. Faire de l'hydrogène pur à exporter, c'est une solution, mais qu'est-ce qu'il nous reste? Et dans un pays qui a décidé de ne pas taxer le soleil et le vent, la question se pose. Donc, les projets les plus profitables, à mon sens, seront ceux qui iront vers l'aval et qui conduiront à la création d'écosystèmes complexes, créateurs de valeur et d'emplois dans notre pays. Donc, la validation des projets ne va pas être simple. Ensuite, il y a la mutualisation des infrastructures. On ne va pas faire un port pour chaque projet, ni une ligne électrique pour chaque projet, ni une route pour elle-même. L'anticipation des différents besoins avec des projets qui vont arriver les uns après les autres va être un problème difficile qui va devoir concerner de multiples parties prenantes, et la coordination entre les parties prenantes et l'arrivée juste à temps des différentes infrastructures va être essentielle. Le port de Dakhla-Atlantique, par exemple, qui n'était pas prévu dans la perspective de l'arrivée de l'hydrogène dans la région de Dakhla, est déjà en train d'être adapté dans son design aux besoins des industriels. Ça n'est qu'un exemple. Donc on voit que, comme je l'ai dit, le projet hydrogène dans notre pays va être un projet d'aménagement du territoire, mais comme je l'ai dit aussi, notre pays a montré, alors je l'ai dit pour TMSA, je pourrais le dire pour la gestion du Covid, de la crise du Covid, et on peut le dire aussi pour la gestion post-séisme, ici à Marrakech, à peine il y a une dizaine de jours. Donc l'administration marocaine, l'État marocain a montré ses capacités, à la fois administratives, techniques et de coordination. Et je crois que ça, c'est un bon message pour tous les investisseurs. Ensuite, il y aura toute une mutualisation des produits et services liés aux investissements. Est-ce que chaque produit va devoir faire sa propre eau dessalée pour faire de l'hydrogène? Ce n'est pas nécessaire. On peut imaginer des solutions où des grandes stations de dessalement serviront un certain nombre de producteurs d'hydrogène. Pour l'électricité, le problème est important. Vu les quantités dont on parle, et le projet dont mon cabinet s'occupe qui représente 3 gigawattheures, comment imaginer un projet de 3 gigawattheures lié au grid avec l'espoir de pouvoir faire appel au réseau national pour remplacer immédiatement 1,7 ou 1,3 gigawattheures suivant que c'est le solaire ou l'éolien. Donc je pense qu'essentiellement, les projets hydrogène seront des projets off-grid. C'est une prise de position aussi. Hein, et ça concerne aussi la capacité du réseau de transport et tout ce qu'on peut voir avec. Et enfin, je vais terminer en parlant de ce qui est encore plus important, c'est l'aménagement du facteur humain. Les centres de formation, la mise à disposition du personnel, les activités résidentielles, de faire en sorte que les zones qui vont recevoir ces gros investissements soient aussi des zones agréables à vivre. On voit là, on mesure là toute l'importance, n'est-ce pas, de la réflexion sur l'offre Maroc hydrogène, hein, et la responsabilité écrasante qui sera celle de l'institution chargée d'harmoniser, de faire en sorte que tout cela se passe pour le mieux. Mais comme je l'ai dit, je reste optimiste et je suis sûr que ce projet démontrera une fois de plus la capacité marocaine à travailler dans le sérieux, comme Sa Majesté l'a demandé récemment. Merci.
Merci infiniment, M. Benima. Merci beaucoup. Donc, en effet, beaucoup de défis. Principalement, on est en train de... Ces nouvelles notions que je prends de vous, c'est d'ingénierie du territoire, en fait. C'est de voir comment est-ce qu'on peut ingénierie les futurs oasis, on va dire, de l'hydrogène dans un futur proche. Très bien, merci beaucoup. Je passe, I will then move on to my right, to Mark. And this guy has a lot of ambition and vision about other, let's say, domain, and he recently landed in this ecosystem of green hydrogen. So, Mark, I'm really curious personally to see and to learn how do you envisage the triggering of the market, of the triggering, how we could trigger through your the first projects you are developing, how you could orient us in this regard.
Does that work okay? We are a developer that does very large PTX projects, or develops very large PTX projects. None of them has been built yet because the overall economic ecosystem hasn't fallen into place. But we have literally 200 gigawatts of projects that are under development on, across the planet, from Australia to Africa to South America to North America. Everything is getting ready to go. The question is, what's going to make it go? And to make it go, we have got to get the price of green above our cost of production. And right at the moment, if we make something like ammonia, for example, it would cost more money than the traditional way to make ammonia using natural gas. Essentially, regulatory changes in the shipping industry and among basically carbon pricing worldwide on a multilateral basis has got to get the price of green ammonia, the price of green steel, the price of green hydrogen to the level where it's economic to make it in a green way with electrolysis. We're pretty close, but we're not there yet. And it's going to take governments imposing regulations, for example, on the shipping industry to use green ammonia in ships, or pricing carbon across all markets so that it's cheaper to use green production techniques than it is to do what we do today. That's what I think we're waiting for. There's plenty of very constructive dialogue happening at places like the International Marine Organization. I think we'll get there, but we're not quite there yet.
If I have to jump on your statement, what is needed exactly to apart regulation and from the industrial point of view?
Industrially, I think this is easy. This is, I think the issue is not going to be an industrial issue as such, although building the supply chain for things like electrolysis is not going to happen overnight. But the real problem is we got to get carbon priced into everything so that it becomes punishingly expensive to emit carbon dioxide. And when that happens, this industry will take off on its own.
Thank you, Mark, for this insight. So I takeaway is mainly regulation and enabling measures like fiscality and taxes, etc. Thank you so much for this insight. And then I will turn to Adonis, CEO of Chariot, and we thank you a lot for coming here in a short notice also from the UK, and we're really pleased that you're here. Chariot has already started some endeavors in Mauritania and also in Morocco with a signed partnership with the UM6P. I would like you, Adonis, to give us some insights on your projects worldwide, and as a developer, as OEM as well, what are your vision about the puzzle pieces that are missing to make it happen in the short term?
Thank you very much, Dr. Rashidi, for having us, for hosting us. And again, I know it's been said many times, but sympathies to the people of Morocco, the Kingdom of Morocco, on this tragedy. We're all with you. We're here together and we support you. Chariot has made a conscious decision at this stage to focus green hydrogen on the continent of Africa. And as you correctly said, Dr. Rashidi, we have a 10 gigawatt project in Mauritania with Total Energies as our partner. And we have here in Morocco a proof of concept project with UM6P. We heard Mr. Al-Habti speak earlier on, and we're putting what we think is a very unique electrolyzer solution in place where we will produce, it's a 1 megawatt electrolyzer. It will be situated in Jorf Laspa to produce green hydrogen. And the key thing is, over and above what Mark just said, in order for this industry to work, we actually have to have relentless innovation. It's not only initially we may be able to punish the carbon market and therefore have an increased price that way, but ultimately we need to bring the cost of producing green hydrogen down to the levels that compete with traditional industries today, the industries that produce ammonia or steel. To do that, we have to bring the cost of producing hydrogen down, and to do that, it's relentless innovation. Now we know already that on the solar and the wind, we figured that out. I mean, I remember in the mining industry 15 years ago, the mining industry was laughing at solar and saying it doesn't work. It's too expensive. It's intermittent. It was 80 cents a kilowatt hour. Today, solar energy, 2 cents a kilowatt hour, 3 cents a kilowatt hour, is the cheapest form of energy. I see the same thing happening over time in green hydrogen. It won't happen immediately, but we need to bring the cost of green hydrogen down. And in order for that to happen, we need to innovate. And the most important thing is to start projects. We don't, these giga projects are out there and we're all involved in the giga projects. The important thing is to start with smaller projects, show that they can work, and bring those costs of green hydrogen down. Now, Africa, and Morocco in particular, is blessed. Because not does it only have the regulatory framework and a country that embraces this and is open for it and will have the regulation in place and the skill set, I believe, to be able to enable these giga projects, but also it's blessed with natural resources, the best wind, the best solar characteristics. And I think this green hydrogen market presents for us one of the biggest business opportunities of a generation, where we can change the energy mix of the world, fundamentally changing the way we produce energy, the way we consume energy. And all I can say is these big projects will be huge generators of wealth for the countries in which they operate, job creation in all its forms. And we're looking forward to working here in Morocco on bigger projects once we've proven our proof of concept with UM6P. It's a very exciting time.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Adonis. Hopefully, next edition of the PTX Summit, you could give us more figures and probably achievements of your endeavors. Last, as I told you, but not least, my friend to my left, Franck Le Baron, is representing a strategic stakeholder in this ecosystem, a pioneer, I would say, as well, in terms of project development. I've met Franck Le Baron 5 or 6 years ago, and already that time, ENGIE had a track record of demonstrators in terms of hydrogen technology. So, Frank, I would like, please, to ask you to share with us the experience of ENGIE worldwide on the ongoing development of the projects, but also if you could give us as Moroccans, while also we are speaking about the Offre Maroc, how we could also help support as a country to be a hub for this industry.
Shukran, Samir. Salam alaikum. Good morning, everybody, and bonjour. I'm very happy to be here. You know, Samir, I was living in Marrakesh 15 years ago. One of my daughters is working in Casa now, so the country is deep to my heart. So first, I would like to share my compassion for the Morocco and the Moroccan population. And by the way, Morocco is very deep to the heart of our CEO, Catherine McGregor, you know that. So we would like really to do something here with you, with all of you. Maybe first, I would like to thank Erezen and Green H2 Cluster for the invitation, of course. If you allow me, I will be provocative because your title is Ongoing Large-Scale Project, Green H2 Project. Ongoing large-scale project. For me, there is no ongoing large-scale project because the project exists only when the FID is taken, when the final investment decision is taken. So when things start to, yeah. So I'm provocative, but there are many, many projects, and this is interesting to see what is going on, and the idea is to go further. You know, at ENGIE, we've got 2 feet. We are a gas company and also a renewable energy company. So hydrogen and e-molecules are in the middle of this. We want to be all along the value chain, from production to distribution, through storage, pipelines, and so on. And we've got an objective to 2030 of operating 4 gigawatts of electrolyzers, operating 700 kilometers of dedicated pipelines, operate also underground storage in salt cavern, 1 terawatt, and also operate refueling stations. But today, we are active on 100 projects, but at various stage of maturity, of course, but only 2 have reached what we call FID. We've got a project in South Africa, which was inaugurated in May 2022, 3.5 megawatts. So we are far from gigawatt. We are currently constructing one in Australia, 10 megawatts to produce ammonia. What I mean is that this is the beginning, and I will come back to it quickly after. What is interesting is the lessons learned, because we all want to develop gigawatt project, but I think we are all learning. We need to learn, and it's a little bit slow. So maybe today at ENGIE, we are working. We are present in many countries. I think 35 or 40 countries. But for hydrogen, we decided to concentrate on 15 countries. And of course, Morocco is part of these countries. They have to tick boxes, and at Morocco, you tick boxes. affordability and abundance of renewable energy. You've got some potential of takers. You've got some regulatory or roadmap in preparation and so on. Partners, you need, I mean, you deserve to succeed. And we are in 15 countries, including Oman. You may have seen that we are currently doing a feasibility study for a project to produce ammonia. And by the way, my colleague Stéphane Gobert will speak tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and we'll make a focus on North Africa and UAE and Middle East. So I will not spend time on it. But in Morocco, we in particular work with Nareva today, and we really hope that this project will go forward. This is very important. Maybe my last message would be on the lessons learned. In fact, Morocco, hydrogen and e-molecule, this is a new, I mean, hydrogen is not new. It has been used in industry for decades. What is new is renewable hydrogen, of course, and affordability. We are all learning in small-scale project. What we have learned from South Africa and Australia is that we need perseverance, tenacity. And when you need this, it means that you need to select your partners because you need trust. So my word would be, you have to develop trust with your partners because there will be some surprises. It will be difficult. And it's easier when you are working with people you like, when there is an history and so on. So select your partners, work on reliability and also on the, because today we are learning on electrolysis and so on, but there is a question of reliability and also commitment on delays and so on. So let's learn on small scale. This is what we do at NG before going further. And the last one is, I think we have to dare. This is okay, there are some risks and so on. We don't know, but we will discover some and so on. So once you have decided your project with your good partners, your trust and so on, let's go, because you will learn in doing. So let's start with small project, invest. And the idea would be to take FIDs on project. And I would really love that we do something in Morocco with you on ammonia, hydrogen or whatever for the local use and for export.
Inshallah, inshallah, Frank, thank you so much for your insights. I would probably be also somehow provocative and say that there is at least one project, 1 gigawatt scale project that has, I mean, established the financial closing, which is NEOM, and they will be speaking in the next panel represented by Mr. Driz Barraho from Aqua Power. So I'm really sorry. I have really the obligation to turn this session a bit short. So I will give back in from the left to each speaker 1 minute to conclude this panel, because we need really to accelerate and invite you all to engage with our esteemed panelists in the break and also in their booth. So, Sibnima, je vais commencer avec vous, s'il vous plaît, pour clôturer le panel. Vous avez parlé, effectivement, vous avez dit aussi quelque chose qui est très provocatif comme Franck, c'est que l'énergie renouvelable ne crée pas d'emploi. Ce que, si vous me permettez, je ne suis pas d'accord. Avec quoi je ne suis pas d'accord, si vous me permettez, parce que effectivement, quand on va déployer les renouvelables, ça ne va pas créer beaucoup d'emplois pour l'exploitation, etc. Mais qu'est-ce que vous pensez, M. Bnihima, si on s'inscrit dans une logique de remonter à l'amont du renouvelable, c'est-à-dire partir sur des fours de silicium, des choses comme ça. C'est vrai que ça fait rêver, ça fait de moi un grand rêveur, mais je pense que les ordres de grandeur dont on est en train de parler aujourd'hui dans notre pays peuvent justifier ce type d'investissement, ne serait-ce que, comme vous avez dit, les actions, on va dire, stratégiques que le Maroc a dû faire dans le passé, comme Tangemed, comme ce qu'on a fait dans l'automobile. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de ça en guise de conclusion, cher M. Bnihima?
Oui, quand je dis que ça crée peu d'emplois, c'est par rapport au capital investi. On peut voir les chiffres. 130 milliards de dirhams pour le projet OCP, qui est le plus, enfin, de manière plus réaliste, celui dont on est sûr qu'il va voir le jour. Connaissant l'OCP, ben on fera le total des emplois. Hein, les emplois directs sont faibles. C'est la création de la chaîne de valeur à l'intérieur du pays autour des énergies renouvelables n'est-ce pas, qui va créer l'emploi. Et je vous ai dit que ça devait être pour moi un des critères essentiels, hein, de la validation des projets et de l'allocation du foncier, qui est ce que l'État marocain peut donner de plus tangible. Mais je ne reviens pas sur ce que je dis. Les usines de production d'énergie électrique par le renouvelable ne créent pas en directement beaucoup d'emplois. Et quand on voit les investissements, c'est des questions. Donc il faut absolument, hein, que l'écosystème, et qu'on ne soit pas simplement un pays dans lequel il y a des éoliennes, des plaques photovoltaïques, des électrolyseurs et de l'hydrogène qui s'en va. Voilà, c'est ça ce que je voulais dire.
Merci beaucoup.
Pardon, j'ai malheureusement l'impression, chaque fois que je dis des choses que je pense être des réalités évidentes, hein, de dire des choses qui sont provocatrices. C'est absolument pas mon objectif.
Non, il n'y a pas de souci. On est là pour échanger. On est là pour échanger, d'apprendre de vous et aussi de voir ce qu'on peut faire ensemble sur cette chaîne de valeur qui va effectivement, comme vous le dites, créer de l'emploi, surtout pour la partie aval. Tariq, I would like to get back to you as a conclusion for this panel. I'm sorry also to shorten the intervention. How do you see the perspective? I don't want you to share anything about the of Maroc, but just to tell us how do you envisage going from your reference projects to helping companies and investors around the world, developing their own in Morocco?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Samir. So, yeah, I think now it's better. Yeah, I want first to come back to what has been said by Mr. Benhima. We are going to consider the development of green hydrogen not only as a question of investing, but trying to catch the whole value chain. Of course, local content, local horizontal and vertical. Donc, well, the first try to answer to what has been said by Mr. Driss Benhima regarding the value chain of green hydrogen and the renewable development more largely. So for us, the of course target is catching value from this green hydrogen development through of course catching the whole value chain, horizontal and vertical integration. So it would be a key factor, key element in terms of selecting the project. Of course, as you said, it will be also a question of allocation and scale up. So our target, of course, target of the Moroccan government will be selecting the most suitable and most interesting project to be developed within the region. We have, it has been said many times this morning, great potential connectivity with Europe. We are interconnected by pipes, by line. We are of the most suitable location for that. And of course, we want to capture the value for the country, creating jobs, but also industries around that. And one of the key elements that has been mentioned also is having project on floor, small project, medium scale project as soon as possible. And this is why we start the development of this reference project that we almost finalized the feasibility study. And our target is to develop this project as soon as possible, having it in the ground and showing the case that we can really have our green molecule going from Morocco to local use, but also to export. And it really the locomotive attracting the other more large-scale project that will come in the region and the country. So, and for that, we have a side event this afternoon at 4 p.m. more dedicated to this project in room Plenary, so we can have more information about this project, where we'll be of course open to all private sector to invest in it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tariq, for this conclusion. Sorry, for you, Adonis, how could you conclude this panel by also giving us insights on how, as a country, we could support the development of endeavors such as Sarius in Morocco?
Thank you. As we heard earlier from one of the other speakers, I think every day you open up a newspaper and you read about green hydrogen, but consensus is that by 2050, we need 800 million tons of green hydrogen produced if we're going to get to carbon net zero. And what is a statement of fact? There is no carbon net zero without hydrogen in the game. So we have to have hydrogen. How Morocco can leapfrog, and it will leapfrog the rest, is I think regulation needs to be in place that's fair for the country and fair for the investor. But these are mega projects requiring tens of billions of dollars. So the funding needs to come from not just the private sector, but DFIs, MLBs, in order to get these projects going. And initially, there might need to be some form of support, subsidization. But as I said earlier on, with that relentless innovation, you drive those costs down so that hydrogen can compete with any traditional industry, whether it's making steel or ammonia. And I think to Tariq's point here, let's just get started on some projects. Let's prove that it works. Let's be relentless in the different types of electrolyzers we use, because that's the big unknown. Wind and solar we know. And I don't think it's an engineering problem. We just need to scale it up.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Adonis, for those concluding remarks. Jad, from your experience, and as a concluding remarks, I would like to ask you how, as a digitalization leading company, you see the role of these digitization in lowering the costs that Adonis is speaking about.
Okay, thank you for the question. So first of all, I think Morocco, I have to say that in terms of the technology on the renewables, on the new technologies, on the new power to X and all such things, Morocco is a great country because due to, I think, the efforts from Mazen and from all the industry players in Morocco, we have achieved a very good results of the recent years, which is started around 10 years ago, and for a country located in Africa, but our kingdom reached such a big effort. I think it is a very big achievement. And what is the behind? It is about the technology. It is about the technology investment from the very beginning. It is about the technology recognition from the very beginning. However, in the coming new field, I think that we still face a lot of challenges too. For example, when we're talking about the green hydrogen valley in Kunming and some other cities, I think the first one is about the harsh environment, and also that there is because the green hydrogen is related to a lot of corporations for all kinds of players. It's not the same as the renewable plants before, and also that this is the beginning of the industry, so maybe that we can face some huge cost of the project and such things, etc. So in order to resolve such challenges, I think the first one in terms of on Huawei level, that's we have every year that we have invested around 20% of our revenue back into all the R&D investments, and then trying to deliver the best solutions and the best products to all the industries, which make the levelized cost of electricity less than the others, and also that's to bring more values on such as the maintenance, such as the daily operation cost. So I think this is the first. And secondly, that's in order to make it to be adapted to such harsh environments like desert, high temperature, or even some salty environments along the coastlines. And I think there are more investments that we should do, or we should customize on the whole system to make it possible to be adapted in Morocco. I think this is something that we could do too. And all these technologies is related to the digitalizations. So this is how we think about the digitalization. And also that's actually Incheon now, Huawei has cooperated with some of the players, especially in China. And actually by the end of August, that we have successfully launched the first green hydrogen plant in Xinjiang province, which is around 10,000 tons per year and with the solar system. And from the initial production into the transportation and the storage and all such things. And we are part of the consultation. And Huawei is willing to share all such experience, not only in terms of the technology, but also in terms of the whole value chain on the experience. And that is what I see.
Thank you so much, Jed, for these concluding remarks. I will also move then to Frank. What would be your recommendations to Morocco as a conclusion to this panel?
Thank you, Samir. Morocco ticks all the boxes. So, I mean, yeah. So no, they are ticked, and you deserve to succeed for hydrogen and molecule, and you will succeed. Of course, I will hope that NG will be part of it, inshallah. I hope. But I will be, as a conclusion, again, if you allow me, provocative and challenging your title. This is very good to dream about large-scale projects. But let's start by 1 megawatt, 100 megawatt, 200 megawatt. I mean, we have to start. Of course, when choosing the location, choosing the infrastructure and so on, you have to anticipate that you will increase 200, 500, maybe 1 gigawatt one day, but you have to start because you will learn a lot. And of course, you will find the off-takers more and more. At the beginning, maybe you won't have any off-takers, not as many as you dream of. But okay, large project, this is good, but let's go step by step, I would say.
Perfect, step by step. That's a nice recommendation. Thank you so much. Then I will finish my panel with a conclusion from Mark. What would be then also your recommendation to Morocco in order to help, support, and how do you see probably the first projects? I don't dare say large projects, but that's Frank said. So please.
Listen, I have full confidence that the Moroccan government will figure out the regulatory structure that's necessary to make this fly. As Adonis said, it's got to be fair to the investors and fair to the country. I have no reason to doubt that that isn't what's going to happen. In the meantime, we're still developing. We've been here 3 years. We've got 3 years of wind measurements now. We've done a huge amount of work on the ground, and we're not slowing down and waiting until the final regulatory structure is in place because we're sure it will arrive. And when it arrives, we hope we're going to be ready for it.
Thank you so much, Crandall, and I would like to thank all the esteemed and distinguished panelists of this lineup. I'm really happy and proud to have been chairing this session. I would like to join me in a round of applause to all of them to thank them for their presence. And, yeah. Can we have a picture of the panel, please, before moving to the next panel?
Thank you.